Hello, I'm Sidecat Cosplay, and welcome to the Lute helmet tutorial. A lot of this footage that I have for making this helmet slash mask, whatever you want to call it, is me actually making the pattern. If you don't want to make your own pattern, I have it available on my Etsy and my Ko-fi storefronts, which are under Sidecat Cosplay if you're looking to make this for yourself. The first step for making this helmet is to make a pattern. I've made helmet patterns before, so I knew the general shape that I needed and how many pieces I needed. I put those on my wig head and made forms, and then made flat versions of that to cut out of 6mm EVA foam. I'm using 6mm EVA foam as the base for this helmet because that's a little bit more sturdy than 4mm. If you want to use 4mm, you can. I prefer 6 for helmet bases. And I'm just going to glue up all the seams with contact cement. I do recommend contact cement instead of hot glue because it's going to make your seams a lot neater. This helmet was a test for the pattern, so my seams aren't great. I was not going for neatness on this particular version. If I'm going to finish this, I will clean up the seams a lot. I will sand them down. I will gap fill them before priming and doing any painting. Once the helmet base was assembled, I used the base as the form for making the face and the horns. So I'm going to tape up the front of the face of the helmet and draw out my face pattern. This I'm going to make out of 4mm foam and then start to make the horn shape. The horn was the hardest part of this whole process. It has a weird twist and curve to it. Horns can be tricky. So the way that I'm going to make this is the way that I make pretty much any weird shape is I'm going to make a form out of paper and tape. I have a lot of leftover newspaper hanging around in my workshop. This is what I use it for. I use it to make patterns, both to cut the flat pattern and to make weird shapes. Basically, use trash. It's great. Once I have the shape down, I'm going to cover it in saran wrap and then cover it in another layer of tape. This is going to serve as my pattern base. Once I have the horn all taped up, I'm going to cut that off the base shape. You can destroy the base shape at this point. And then I'm going to make all the registration marks that I need, divide it up into how many pattern pieces I want. Usually horns are 3. Cut it out and then flat cut it onto paper again. Did that make sense? Anyway, I'm going to cut this out, trace it onto paper, make a flat version, and then use that to cut out of 4mm foam. I tend to use 4mm foam for horns. It makes the horn a little bit easier to make. If you're using 6mm for the horn, it's going to end up being really difficult to put together. And again, as this was a test, I did not make the horns all that great. The ends are a little uneven. And if you're going to be using this pattern, I do recommend kind of cutting the ends of the horns at a 45-degree angle to make the ends come into shape better. Only 2 of the ends actually match up. It's kind of weird the way that the horn shape comes together because it has a weird twist to it. But I put the horns together and then put them on the helmet, realized they were at the wrong angle, and then fixed it and put them back on. And to be able to see out of this, you can cut slits at the edge of the eyes, or you could cut the back of the eye and the mouth out and cover it with mesh. Either way, here is the fully assembled helmet. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. And I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you think I should finish this, leave a comment down below.